What's up, sports fans? It's a special champions episode tonight with the newly crowned kings of the UAAP court, the De La Salle Green Archers. I'm Diego Dori.
And I'm Dip Bianco. Let's kick things off with part one of Isaac Go's special sit-down with NBA legend Rip Hamilton in this latest edition of The Lineup.
Hey guys, we're here with NBA champion Rip, and can I just say, my first basketball memory watching the NBA was when we were younger. It was watching you and Indiana going at it in the playoffs. And it's an honor to be here talking to you, interviewing you. And I just want to ask, what is it like now to be an ambassador for the sport and the NBA, being able to give back to the communities and all the diehard fans everywhere?
First of all, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on your show. It's amazing being an ambassador for the NBA. As a kid growing up in Coatesville, Pennsylvania, didn't get the opportunity to meet any professional athletes. Small town, 10,000 people, never been on a plane, never been out of my 2-mile radius. So to get the opportunity to grow the game of basketball is now a global sport. Dave Stern and Adam Silver did an incredible job of just growing the sport. And to be able to come to the Philippines where basketball is number one, and to be able to inspire the next young generation of hoopers, for me, that's a blessing.
And even you said 2 miles. Now you're all the way here in Asia, in the Philippines for, of course, Republica ng NBA month. How have you been loving the hype of basketball here? But as you said, we love our basketball over here.
Yeah, I love it, man. I was on the phone with my son earlier today. And he was like, Dad, I seen some of the stuff you posted on Instagram. It seems like they love you over there. And I said, son, you have no clue on how big basketball is over here. The fans are always engaged. Ever since I got off the plane here, the fans have opened their arms up, shown me a lot of love, a lot of gratitude. So it's definitely amazing to see. I talked to Chauncey and Sheed and Ben Wallace, and I tell them, you got to come to the Philippines. I mean, this is something that you need to see because you inspired so many young hoopers around the world. So definitely great thing.
And what's nice about your time is you caught the Game 3 of the UAP Finals yesterday, and you even called the game a little bit. How was that?
Well, as soon as I walked in, I mean, the atmosphere was incredible. It kind of reminded me of my college days back at the University of Connecticut. The fans was really engaged. It was hype, a lot of yelling, screaming. The fans was amazing. I don't know how the players even heard the referee's whistle, because that's what I kept saying. I'm like, do they hear the if the referee calls a foul, do they actually hear him? But it kind of reminded me of 04, 05 when I played for the Detroit Pistons. Just the physicality of the game. I mean, watching the game, LaSalle had 67 and the University of Philippines had 70, and it was like for 5, 6, 7 possessions, nobody is scoring. I'm like, man, that happened a lot back when I played in Detroit, so it was definitely amazing to see.
You'll be watching the NBA 3x3 also this weekend. What are you looking forward to that? Maybe you lace it up, wear a jersey, get the mask on?
You know what? I thought about it too, because again, when I was a young kid growing up, I played, we had a 3-on-3 tournament called Hoop It Up. And I had to go to the neighboring town, Philadelphia, to compete in that. So to be able to come back and now to give back, to see young hoopers and be able to give them advice, right? This is some of their start. A lot of these kids are just dreaming, and will hopefully one day being able to play professional sports. So I think it's going to be a great event. I'm happy that they're doing it here, so I'm just happy to be a part of it.
That was only part one of NBA legends Rip Hamilton with our very own Isaac Go. But stay right there because after the break, the UAP men's basketball champions, the DLSU Green Archers, are joining us live, so keep it here. You're watching The Game.
That's the last shot. De La Salle University on top again of the UAAP.
7 years. It's been 7 years since the De La Salle Green Archers clinched their last championship trophy in men's basketball. And now, the crown is back in Taft and the Green Archers land on Taft. Here with us to talk about their journey to the crown are the champions, Coach Topex Robinson, Francis Escandor, and Mark Nonoy. Mga idol, Coach, welcome to the game. Salamat sa pagsama dito sa the game kahit alam ko nagse-celebrate pa kayo.
Congratulations.
Coach.
Thank you very much.
guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, so before we talk about the finals, Coach, of course, what a moment, what an amazing feat for you guys. Let's go back to the start here. You becoming the coach of De La Salle, trying to build this culture. What was the mindset? Of course, champions are going to be always the goal of any team, any coach. But what was the first thing that you did to build that culture here in La Salle?
Well, it was really a process, that we have to go through together. Obviously building a culture, that's part of always the one of the list of coaches coming into a new program. But I guess the challenge coming from us is how to keep it alive. Having clarity of that culture or that vision that you want to set forth. So that was really challenging. It was painful at the start. It was messy until it became beautiful for us.
When you talk about painful, Coach, what does that mean? Like, ano yung mga pinagdaanan nyo nung times
Well,
na yun?
I mean, as a coach, Diego, you have your certain style of coaching.
Right.
So you have to align those programs to the personnel. And coming in there's the former lineup, like season 84, and then you have your own, picture of the players that you wanted to have. So painful in a way that you have to let go of some guys.
Right.
That that you have to put in another group or a certain group of players. But it was really minimal for me. But just talking to them, letting them know that they're not going to be part of the lineup is really challenging for me, because again, I used to be a player. I know how it feels, to tell a player that you're not going to make it.
Kasi laging part yun eh.
Yeah.
Challenges when, achieving this kind of a feat.
And not an easy job knowing that Coach Topex is the head coach of La Salle. Alam natin yung pressure and then being the head coach of the Green Archers. Lipat tayo sa mga players this time. Unahin natin, Francis Escandor. Francis, did you expect coming into this season, nakausap ka ba ni Coach Topex na, okay, this season 86, yung role mo from the past seasons, mas malaki na this time around? Did you expect that coming into the season 86?
Before the UAP season, Coach Topex, basically, he told me na this is my senior year and bibigyan niya ako ng chance. And from there, I just took the opportunity, and from there, nakuha namin yung champion. So, sobrang grateful ko lang na Coach Topex and the other coaches gave me the trust to play out my final year and to represent Pagilinan.
If every time I cover your games, I always mention your development from the start of your UAP career up until now. Grabe, parang every year you were improving from, riding the bench and then most of the games starter, if not all games starter yata si F this season. Can you talk about that, yung journey mo? Itong UAP journey mo from, we were training, I remember with our same skills trainer before, and ibang klase yung development mo dito sa UAP.
Basically, it's really a roller coaster ride. Coming off my first few years, I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to. But then I just stuck with it. I stuck with the process. Kept getting better each and every day. And sabi ko lang na one day, kahit papano, it will all pay off. And eventually, now na nag-champion kami, I think it really all paid off.
It all paid off. Worth it lahat ng
Sobrang
sacrifices.
Sobrang worth it.
Mark, final playing year mo na to for La Salle. It hasn't been the easiest the past seasons for you, but Diego and I had the privilege to cover your breakout game against UE in round number 2 where you scored 20 plus points. Sabi mo sa interview, pagkatapos na medyo nangihinayang ka kasi the past couple of seasons, parang feeling mo kulang yung tulong mo for the team. But this season, it proved to be the best season for you. Can you talk about yung experience mo all throughout the games from round 1 up to the finals?
First siguro, I'm very thankful kasi yun nga, si Coach Topex naging head coach namin. And then, bago siya pumunta, yun nga, yung sabi ni F, binigyan niya kami ng sobrang laking responsibility yung mga seniors. And then, yung respect niya para sa amin, alam niya naman na yung past almost season namin di gaano kaganda. So, walang nag-expect talaga na aabot kami sa championship. Yun nga kasi first round, sobrang struggle ko talaga. Sobrang struggle ko and then very thankful kasi yun nga, si Coach Topex, nag-usap kami. Yung game namin sa UE, sabi niya sa akin, yun talaga yung tumatak talaga and then siguro nag-boost din ng confidence ka na, sige, buga mo lang.
Basta,
Tumira ka.
tira mo lang, no?
Tumira ka.
Pero ano naman, Mark, yung talent mo naman doon, nakita namin from your first year pa lang when you were still playing for UST, then eventually you played here for LaSalle. How about yung personal thought process mo nung mga times na yun na, syempre, grabe yung start ng UAP career mo and then ups and downs in the middle and then ngayon, finally back on top sa senior year mo. Ano yung mga personal battles, syempre, na pinagdaanan mo din and paano mo yun nalagpasan?
First, di naman mahirap lagpasan yung ganun kasi syempre maraming tao nag-expect sa career ko kasi yun nga, nakuha ko yung Rookie of the Year and then suddenly na-cancel yung season 83 and then dapat residence ko dun sa LaSalle. Tapos yung season 84-85 ko sobrang hindi ganun ka ganda yung performance ko and isa lang pinapasalamatan ko si Lord kasi ginabayan niya ako and then yung coach ko, yung sa Iloilo, yung high school coach ko talaga. Yun talaga yung nagbibigay sa akin ng guide niya sa akin and yung confidence ko po sa
I mean, what a career, no? And lagpasan mo lahat ng yun, all the challenges, now you're a champion. And Coach, let's talk about yung journey nyo dito papunta sa finals. Round 1 and Round 2. Round 1, there was a bit of challenge there in terms of, you lost a couple of big games ng Round 1. Round 2, you won all the games, Coach. What happened there? Was there a switch or, what happened during that time?
There were a lot of series of events but since I was looking at Mark right now, I remember kasi nung natalo kami sa Ateneo, when we lost to Ateneo, sama ng loob namin and then nagkita kami sa parking kasi we live in the dorm eh. And then kwento niya sa akin nung, Coach, okay lang kasi nung last season nanalo kami sa Ateneo. The next games namin, puro talo kami. So sabi niya, okay lang matalo sa Ateneo kasi susunod mananalo na tayo. True enough. Yeah, it was, I remember what Mark told me eh. Kasi I think 1 o'clock in the morning, nandun kami sa labas. Kumbaga, tumitingin kami sa kawalan nun eh. Like sila Josh, so sila CJ. So sinabi niya sa akin, Coach, mananalo tayo. So yung mga, looking back, kumbaga, picking up the pieces now, parang everything just really fell into place and I'm just so grateful and happy then with our seniors eh, kasi all of them really had their bright moments. Obviously Evan is really a different species.
Right.
But for F, for Mark, even for Ben, during game 2 of the finals, from not really seeing the floor that much, all of a sudden gave us that kind of boost. And those really things really gave me a lot of things to be grateful for this season. And learning then, because I mean ups and downs, learning, doubts. Again, a lot of those came in. Pressure. It's always been a part of this representing DLSU. But come to think of it, it really is. This makes this championship so sweet for us.
And it's, I think, all part of the process. And of course, yung Final Four, hindi naman sila makakabot ng finals without making it.
And iba talaga yung round number 2, Diego. We know they went undefeated. You talked about that moment sa parking lot na iniisip niya, paano ba kayo magbabounce back? But Coach, if you would credit it to one, I guess, moment in round 2, what flipped the switch for your team na talagang, okay, umangat bigla yung laro ninyo?
Well, yung challenges namin from those 3 losses in the first round, I guess if you're gonna boil it down, it all boils down to trust. When I told Mark that he needs to really, kumbaga kapalan niya na yung mukha niya, and wala lang. And then all of a sudden, that switch kind of turned for him. And then after that, he really lit the light out. And he had a few struggles, and you have to keep on reminding him again because he gets to forget yung gift niya. Because again, he wants to really win in a way that willing siyang i-give up yung position sa player namin na okay nilalaro, but he tend to forget yung part niya.
Right. And we talked about the moments leading up to the biggest moment of this season, and we'll talk about that after this break. We'll talk about the big moments in the last stretch of the Green Archers' journey to the championship when we return. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back. You're still watching the game, and still with us are the UAAP champions, the DLSU Green Archers, Francis Escondor, Mark Nonoy, and of course, Coach Topex Robinson. Coach, we talked about the journey, and now let's talk about the biggest moment of the season, of course, itong finals. And before that finals, Coach, you're not new to the finals scene anymore. Even back before when you were coaching for Lyceum, nakaabot ka na rin sa finals, Coach. But what was different this time? What were your repercussions, if meron? Ano yung mga naiisip mo nung time na yun, leading into the finals, of course, going up against UP, third straight finals na sila nung itong season na to?
I guess looking back, Diego, what was really parang yung trend na naman is undefeated. Like we went 9-0 and then
Right.
played the first finals game, and then all of a sudden you got blown by 30 big points in a finals game, which I guess was the first record after the Final Four, that 30 point.
Biggest, yeah.
Yeah, the biggest blowout for a finals. I mean, there were a lot of doubts, trying to dig deep and asking yourself, how can I get over this hump? And then there was this one interview that really shook me was, Coach, is it again LPU 2.0 or 3.0 at this point? Because never, I haven't really won a finals in my young coaching career. So all of that dawned in, and then come game 2, prior to game 2, it was really challenging for me. I mean, especially with talking to the coaches of what was the best thing to do.
Right,
So it was
right.
really challenging.
And in this part, may mga lalabas na videos dito, and you guys can watch and relive the moments of your finals here. But let's talk to the players before the videos.
Kausapin natin si F. Nabanggit nga ni Coach Topex yung 30-point lead ng UP in game number 1. F, did you expect in game number 2 that you would be the leading scorer after that game? At yung mga tres mo, kaya nga tinawag ka ng Francis Tres Candor, di ba? Your thoughts on those big threes that you shot in game number 2?
First of all, coming into game 2, sobrang gigil talaga namin. Kasi game 1, grabe yung, kumbaga, sobrang nasaktan kami. I mean, we took it personal to a point. Leading up to game 2, sabi namin, hindi talaga kami magpapatalo, no matter what. We just had that mindset na we're gonna give it our all, we're not gonna go down easy, and hindi kami aalis dito. And eventually, yun yung outcome. Yeah, we had a pretty good win that game.
So all 16 players had the same mindset, same aggression during that game. But F, ikaw, grabe, sobrang init. Might be the biggest game of your UAP career ever, in the finals, biggest stage.
Yeah.
Meron bang kaba? Of course, the big lights, all the big moments are there. And ikaw, finally, you stepped up. You're the leading scorer of your team that game.
Yeah, it's still crazy until ngayon, di pa rin ako mapapaniwala. I mean, out of all the games, yung finals pa, yung crucial pa. But again, I think nakikita kasi ni Lord yung lahat, and I believe that na all my hard work, all the things that I did, parang leading up to that moment, sabi ko na gagawin ko na lahat and bahala na, si Lord na bahala. And eventually, napakita ko.
All the unseen work
All
finally
the
paid
unseen
off.
work,
Yeah.
unseen work.
Mark, when you won that Rookie of the Year in Season 82, I'm sure masaya ka nun. Pero can you talk about the feeling of winning a championship this time sa UAAP?
Iba yung feeling sa championship kasi yung Rookie of the Year, individual award lang yun eh. So kami, nag-uusap-usap na kami nila F na okay lang kahit sino mag-finals MVP, wala kaming pakialam, basta everybody's happy lang. Yun yung sobrang talaga, yung ego namin parang sinet aside talaga namin muna para makuha lang to yung championship.
Mark, nakwento ni F kanina na leading into game 2, di talaga kayo magpapatalo. And may nakwento rin kayo, Coach, na the practice was different before game 2. Mark, kwento mo naman. Ngayon, pwede mo na ikwento kung ano yung mga nangyari nung practices leading into game 2. May mga nag-away ba? I mean, that's part of being competitive in practice, Mark.
Sobra talaga yung sobrang init ng training namin. Kasi yun nga, marami kaming natutunan sa game 1 kasi yung defense ng UP, sabi namin, gagawin natin yung depensa ng UP kahit sa screen dito sa training natin para pagdating sa court, ready na tayo. So, kumbaga, wala na talaga, hindi kami na masyado nagpapansinan. Yung focus talaga namin, si Coach, tumatawa lang. Nahaya lang kami ni Coach. Kasi gusto talaga namin manalo. gusto lang talaga namin manalo.
But parang tumatawa ka nun, Coach? Parang may mga nagre-replay sa utak mo nung...
I wasn't sure, hindi ko alam na tinitingnan nila ako eh. Because every time they were yelling at each other, I would like turn my back and I was just like smiling and said, you know, that team really wanted to win a championship. That's how bad they really wanted it. That, you know, they set aside nga yung egos nila. Kumbaga, like Mike was yelling at, I think it was CJ that he was yelling at.
Right,
Ben
right.
was yelling at his own brother. But you know that they wanted to win. It's just a matter of everybody just being on the same page and I guess riding on the same tune. You know, and it really showed in game 2.
And
Yeah.
let's take a look at the screen right here, Dip.
Ito yung sinasabi ng players mo, Coach Topex, na siguro 2.1 seconds na, pero ang haba pa nito eh, di ba? Ikaw, Coach Topex, what was running through your mind when KQ was taking these free throws?
Wow, not until I've seen this, you know, I had a short memory because of all the things that's been happening. Yes, it was the longest 7 seconds of my life. I have a lot of, I have timeouts pa to give and I was really like thinking, sana matapos na. I mean, you could only, but we know that UP will give us a good fight. We know that they will not just give up. Coach Goldwyn has a lot of, you know, surprises up his sleeve. I know they're really not gonna give us this win easily.
And finally, you guys were crowned gold medals around your necks and this trophy being brought up. Anong feeling, everything na tumatakbo sa isip mo nung time na NF?
Parang lahat ng emotion bumagsak sa amin. Parang hindi mo alam kung mapapayak ka or tatawa ka, sobrang saya. But it's really, hindi mo ma-explain yung feeling and all the hard work through the year. Yung pagsasama namin and finally winning that gold. Parang grabe yung feeling.
And of course, once again, congratulations, Coach Topex, F, and Mark. You guys deserve all the best with your performance nung Game 3 na yun. And thank you for the time, spending time here in the game. Alam ko marami pa kayong celebrations.
Mahaba pa yung celebration and congratulations sa lahat ng mga successes this season for the De La Salle Green Archers. And thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dip Yanko.
And I'm Diego Dario. This has been The Game.